What's up, Taiwan? I'm Liao with news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Women account for a growing number of homeowners in Taiwan. As Tiffany Wong reports, it's a trend that reflects a changing society.
Giving her family a home. 70-year-old Miss Dai saved for years to buy this 890-square-foot house in New Taipei. She's part of a growing number of women buying houses in Taiwan. Women now represent more than 48% of the country's homeowners, a 10-year high. Rents are on the rise, and Miss Dai encourages other prospective homeowners not to give up on their dream.
可是我的想法是，你要有大的目标以后，你才能够有小确幸。
In the capital Taipei, the percentage of female homeowners has even surpassed that of men for the first time. Real estate market watchers say that as marriage and birth rates decline, women with fewer family burdens are choosing to buy homes for themselves. But women living alone might have some specific concerns when searching for a home.
主要的标的会以这个有管理的大楼为主，因为毕竟女孩子可能会比较在乎这个社区的这个保全维安啊。
But whether they can afford extra amenities like these depends on how much they can save. And with women's salaries still 14.7% lower than men's on average, it's clear that Taiwan's gender gap runs deep, leaving women with fewer options when it comes to climbing the property ladder. Kamasri and Tiffany Wong for TaiwanPlus.
A dispute has erupted in Taipei over a plan to hand part of the city's oldest brewery to a university. It's the latest disagreement over urban renewal as city officials look to refurbish historic sites. Wesley Lewis has the details.
Taiwan beer, an iconic symbol of the country's heritage. But now tensions are brewing over a government proposal to hand over part of the company's Jianguo beer factory to National Taipei University of Technology. The plan is to repurpose land equal to about 3.5 American football fields right in central Taipei. And Taiwan Beer says the move will be good for the university, the company's staff, and for local residents.
相信未来可以制造三赢啊，北科大能够有块新兴的校地来解决校地不足啊。第二个就是我们台酒的烟酒公司，我们的员工他们的工作权继续维持。第三个，我们的开放空间里面让附近的旅民他们都能够有休息的空间。
The brewery was founded in 1919 during Taiwan's Japanese colonial period. It's a site steeped in history, and it's the birthplace of Taiwan beer. It currently neighbors a beer hall with a live music venue, forming a cultural park that welcomes amblers and beer drinkers alike. But some scholars worry repurposing it will cut it off from the public.
如果是这样被切割之后呢，我觉得我们所谓的啤酒文化园区的整体系统里面，从制造、酿造、游客的参访、体验、品尝这样的一个情境就会被切割掉。所谓的文化园区这个字的完整性，大概就不可能存在了。
What's more, it's the last major active brewery left in Taipei, and workers' unions say the plan will disrupt their day-to-day operations.
电呢，也是在它的里面啊，变压器在它给它的里面，冷冻机、水塔水池，甚至瓦斯锅炉都在给它的里面。你要叫我们怎么活？
The Brewers Union and academics have now signed a joint petition to keep the Jianguo Brewery as it is now. The renovation plan is only the most recent case to attract debate over urban renewal. A viaduct built in 1982 obscuring Taipei's historic North Gate led to years of protests by the public, leading planners to finally tear it down in 2016. Historic spaces like the Jianguo Brewery can be deeply meaningful to the public, and for some people, preserving the past means more than changing for the future. Chris Ma and Wesley Lewis for TaiwanPlus.
A nonprofit group has launched the world's largest methane tracker satellite into space.
3, 2, 1, ignition.
The Environmental Defense Fund designed the satellite to orbit the Earth every hour and a half to track methane, which traps more heat than other greenhouse gases. Unlike other methane trackers, the group says they will be completely transparent, making its data free to the public. The International Energy Agency says methane emissions from fossil fuels reached a near record high in 2023, and tracking emissions help lead to better regulations.
This is a whole new game. It really creates an enormous leap forward in our ability to really understand greenhouse gas emissions.
Environmental groups and scientists are calling on the UN to expand protections for the Galapagos Islands. Bryn Thomas has the story.
British naturalist Charles Darwin said the Galapagos Islands were a little world within itself. The Ecuadorian archipelago off the coast of South America is home to 3,000 marine species, including sea turtles, hammerhead sharks, sea lions, and marine iguanas. In 1998, UNESCO designated the islands and their surrounding waters a World Heritage Site, protecting their ecosystem and creating one of the world's largest marine reserves. But just outside its boundaries, industrial fishing fleets operate as usual. Scientists say they pose a threat to animals whose migration takes them beyond the reserve's borders.
So it's hugely important that we protect areas where we have irreplaceable biological diversity, like places like Galapagos. But that means very little if we don't also consider how these areas are ecologically connected.
Environmental activists are teaming up with scientists to demonstrate these connections using DNA testing in and around Galapagos waters.
Los análisis de estas muestras nos permiten saber qué especies marinas han estado en esta área y han dejado algún tipo de rastro de ADN que va a ser identificado y amplificado mediante técnicas de biología molecular.
Bit by bit, they've been able to map a larger and more interlinked ecosystem that stretches far beyond the borders of the Galapagos Reserve.
The information which we're collecting now is kind of like putting together a big jigsaw puzzle, because everything is integrated in some way. And if you're looking to prioritize the most important regions to start working, to know where those corridors are, you need to use genetics. So you can start to look at how particular populations are connected from one region to another using genetic analysis, genetic tools.
To protect these ecosystems, environmental group Greenpeace is calling on the UN to expand conservation around the islands using the High Seas Treaty. The UN treaty went into effect in June 2023. Once it's ratified by 60 countries, it could expand conservation areas to international waters that make up 60% of the world's oceans. This would allow for much larger nature reserves in waters outside of any country's jurisdiction. Greenpeace says Ecuador, Panama, Colombia, and Costa Rica have done much to protect the oceans within their jurisdiction, but the group is urging these countries to show leadership and ratify the agreement.
Necesitamos que por lo menos 60 gobiernos lo ratifiquen para que en esta conferencia de la ONU que se llevará a cabo en Francia en junio del 2025 se pueda ratificar y entrar en vigor. Al mismo tiempo, sabemos que no podemos esperar. Tenemos la meta de que el 30% de los océanos sean protegidos para el 2030.
30% by 2030 may be chasing the horizon. Right now, just 3% of the world's oceans are conserved, and only 2 countries, Palau and Chile, have ratified the High Seas Treaty. Whether protections will be extended to the world, or even a little world within itself, remains unclear. Luffy Lee and Bryn Thomas for TaiwanPlus.
More than 100 new ocean species have been found in the waters off New Zealand. A group of scientists spent 21 days exploring the waters off the coast of New Zealand's South Island last month. They found new species of mollusk, fish, and coral. The journey was led by Ocean Census, a nonprofit focused on discovering new ocean life, and 2 institutions in New Zealand. Scientists estimate that 90% of the ocean life is still to be discovered. Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. You can visit the TaiwanPlus website or follow our social media for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Before we sign off, saddle up and grab your skis for this competition in the U.S. state of Colorado known as skijoring. I'm Leslie Liao. Take care and see you next time.
Thank you for watching TaiwanPlus. For more stories from the Pacific nation of Tuvalu and around the world, download the TaiwanPlus app.